Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl themoviebae, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review over King's Court season 1 episode 1. But before we get too into it, I would like for you all to consider subscribing to the channel if you are new. Here on themoviebae, I do reviews, reactions, and commentary to movies and television, and if that's the type of content you like, then you are in the right place. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on those post notification bells so you can be alerted every time I upload. And of course, engage with the video. Give the video a thumbs up and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Now, I have watched Queen's Court on Bravo/Peacock before. I've never finished an entire season. My mom usually gets me into watching those shows if I'm around her and that's what she's watching. That's what I watch. But this season, I decided, you know what? Let's go ahead and watch King's Court because Tyson Beckford, you say? Tyson Beckford, you say? Well, I don't mind if I do. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the synopsis of King's Court if y'all don't know what it is, and of course meet our bachelors for this season. All right, so here we go, and I'm gonna read this from bravotv.com. When it comes to finding a queen, the three famous bachelors looking for love on King's Court have no shortage of stunning suitors. On King's Court, 21 gorgeous women must compete for the hearts of three famous bachelors: supermodel Tyson Beckford, NBA All-Star Carlos Boozer, and WWE legend Thaddeus Titus O'Neil Bullard. Hosted by Holly Robinson Peete and Rodney Peete, the show serves as a spin-off of the Peacock original series Queen's Court and is packed with drama, emotional moments, and of course, lots of love. So when the show first starts, we have our wonderful 7 first ladies, suitors down. They're looking beautiful in their beautiful gowns. Everybody's done up, ready to see whose love they are going to be competing for. Because if you know anything about these love shows, they do not tell people in advance who is going to be on the show. You know, you just know the premise. Would you like to date a famous person? Okay, yeah, sure. Come on and cast and be on our show. So that's all the women know. So when the guys come down, I mean, I know it was like that for Flavor of Love for sure back in the day. And if I'm not mistaken, for Queen's Court season 2 as well. So I'm pretty sure they keep up that same facade. Like, you don't know who you're here for, but you do know that it is a famous bachelor. All right. So when the men come down one by one, all the ladies are, of course, in shock and awe. I don't know if many of them knew who these men were. I do know that one person in particular, Lexi, said that she knew or was a big fan of WWE. So when it came to Thaddeus, she had an idea of who he was. When it came to Booker, I believe that's his last name, Carlos, I don't think nobody knew who he was. He is a little bit older, I think. And of course, everybody knows Tyson Beckford. Everybody knows Tyson Beckford. I mean, he's the reason why I'm here, okay? So without further ado, they have a little mixer where they get to know the ladies. And by the end of the night, they get to choose 2 ladies to go on a date with them tomorrow. So let's go ahead and talk about these dates. Let's talk about Thaddeus's dates first. So he has Dr. Shawana. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. She is from Mississippi. She comes in very aggressive. And he said, but he likes that, because she came in while he was talking to another young lady and she was like, yeah, I'm about to steal him real quick. It's time for our one-on-one time. So she's definitely giving, I guess, like New York vibes. You know, I know what I want. I'm here to get what I want, and I don't care who I step on to get in the way. Okay. But she won Thaddeus over when she mentioned that she was in education. And that spoke to his heart because he's a philanthropist as well. He has his own public school, and of course he does community service, particularly what it seems like giving back to the kids. So with that being stated, he asked Shawana on a date. All right. And then when it comes to Jasmine, I don't know what they were talking about. He just asked her out on a date. I mean, you know, sure, she's pretty. Let's go. So on their date, they go for an expressive painting date. Now, Jasmine initially is kind of like, well, usually when I go on the first date, you know, to a nice romantic restaurant, I have my red bottoms on. The guy sends me a car. I'm like, oh, okay. So she not new to this. She true to this. However, when you have, no offense, and I'm from the South, so I can say this, when you have country Dr. Shawana, it's kind of like homegrown, homegirl, down for whatever, and then you got this bougie, stuck-up girl. You know what I'm saying? So they go on an expressive painting date. Jasmine is kind of being outshined by Dr. Shawana because Dr. Shauna is very aggressive. She's very touchy-feely, very flirty. Like I stated, she has her eye on the prize and she's not letting up on it. So Jasmine does kind of fall to the back on that particular date. All right, so Tyson Beckford, he has two people that he's interested in, one of which is Liliana. He started saying how he's a daredevil and an adrenaline junkie, and she was like, oh my gosh, so am I. And then they start flirting and he start asking about her ethnicity, and she's just Mexican. And I say just Mexican, like it's no slight to Mexican people. It's like Tyson don't give me that he date just black women. He doesn't. So I feel like he asked her that in the hopes of her saying, oh, I'm Puerto Rican, or I'm Cuban, or something like that. I felt like that's what he was hoping. So when they started doing a little bonding, a little flirting, I don't know who was there sitting next to him, but she was like, okay, well, I'm about to go talk to Carlos. I know that's right, girl. I'm not about to just sit here and y'all have your little moment. So he asked Liliana if she wants to go on a date with him. And then the next person he asked is Brickell. Now, Brickell is a model, so they're in the same industry. And it just so happens that he actually slid into her DMs before, because when she met him, she was like, hi, nice to see you again. Meet you again. And he was like, damn, where do I know her from? And then they pull up the fact that they were in the DMs sending emojis and stuff back and forth. So they actually have kind of prior history. I guess they talked before, but obviously, it didn't go anywhere or they wouldn't be on this show. Now Brickell is kind of like split. Like she doesn't know like if this is a good thing and like the stars have a line type thing, or if it's a bad thing and will this hurt her chances. But it ends up being a good thing because he chooses her for the date. Now, where does Tyson Beckford take them? He take them to go skydiving. I said, absolutely not. I'm not even getting in the plane. I will see y'all when y'all land on the ground. But of course, you can't turn it down because the guy that you're interested in is going to be looking at you like, oh, she ain't down for the cause. And then you got Tyson is already giving me red flags, y'all. He was like, if you do this date with me, we'll have this shared experience that nobody else will have in the house with me. I was like, not you trying to manipulate them to get on this plane with you. Red flag. Red flag. But he was like, but you don't have to go, but this will be a shared experience. Type. I was like, okay, Tyson. We see why you're single. But everybody does end up going on the plane. Brickell is freaking out, but she does go skydiving. And then Liliana and her little confessional baby, I get people please. She is ready to people please. She said, Tyson wants me to jump out of the plane, so I'm gonna jump out of the plane. I said, oh, okay. We see what kind of person you are. All right, let's proceed. So then we have Carlos. Carlos vibes with Janae. I hope that's her name. Yeah, Janae and Lexi. Now, when it comes to Janae, the moment he came down the stairs, he was like, boom, that's my woman right there. Because no shade, everybody else kind of had like on muted colors, right? And she had on this hot pink dress along, and it did complement her skin tone very well. She definitely stuck out. And of course, she was on the edge of the seat too. So that's a good spot right there. Boom, caught her eye. He caught her eye and he caught her eye and she caught his eye. So they were automatically, vibing off of that, right? So then, when they're having their talk during the mixer, he finds out that she is the daughter of famous people. I think she said her mom is a dancer and her dad played for Earth, Wind, and Fire. So she's not fazed by his celebrity. And his thing was he didn't want people to basically read off his stats to him, because it's like, are you a fan of me or do you really want to get to know me? So the fact that either she's playing like she don't know him or she really don't know him, she my age, we don't know you, baby. Now when it comes to Lexi, he was attracted to the fact that she's a mother. He, of course, has 4 kids. She has 2. And she was talking about her kids a lot and how, she shows up for them and she does for them. And that was really attractive to him. So he asked her on a date. Now, when they go to their date, they do goat yoga. And Lexi is not feeling it whatsoever. She don't like the goat on her back. When they go to the farm, she it smell like booty hole down here. Like it stank. It smelled like corn chips. Like she was not feeling it whatsoever. It was kind of awkward because after they went to the farm part and she made those comments, you could tell in Carlos' face, he was like, yeah, no, not feeling her. And he asked Janae for a solo one-on-one date. I said, oh, because you didn't see, now maybe they did do this on other dates, but they cut it out of the episode, but nobody else asked anybody for a solo date. He was like, I'm sick of you. Janae, I want to talk to you some more. I said, oh, poor baby. Now, I bet y'all wondering, Movie Bae, I feel like you didn't talk about somebody on this slide. You are correct. I did not talk about Jenny. Now, Jenny that's the white lady in the middle. Jenny was not selected for a date by any of the bachelors. We didn't see her conversation with Carlos and Tyson, but we did see her conversation with Thaddeus. Now, when she had her conversation with Thaddeus, she expressed she's from the South. I think she said Tennessee. And so of course, he asked the question, how are your parents, with you dating a black man? Oh, they just love whoever I love. And then he was like, so you dated a black man before? And she says, yes. All right, now let's go ahead and get to it. Now, because Jenny was not selected on a date, she is now up for elimination, going to the elimination dinner. So after the guys come back from their dates, they kind of decide on who else should be on the chopping block for elimination. And they decide for, of course, Jenny, Jasmine. What was I calling her this whole time? Jenny, Jasmine, and Lexi are now on the chopping block. So when it comes to Jenny has a conversation with Thaddeus, and he was like, just because you're at the elimination dinner doesn't mean you're going to go home. I just want to get to know you more. Is there anything that you think I should know that you haven't told me? So this is when Jenny comes out and says that she admitted that she lied about dating a black man before when he questioned, asking about her family's approval. And I was like, girl, what the hell? I was not expecting her to say that. So she was like, she lied because she just wanted the conversation to end and she didn't want it to get aggressive. I said, what a wonderful word you choose while talking to a 6'5", 280-pound black man. You didn't want the conversation to get aggressive? The conversation about race to get aggressive. That's the word. Okay. All right, let's proceed though. Let's proceed. And I'm thinking, if you didn't want to talk about race, you being a white woman in the South and him being a black man and him asking about your family's approval, you didn't want to talk about race. Baby, you are not ready to date a black man. I'm just saying, you're not ready to date a black man because you're going to have to talk about race. You're going to have to deal with racist things, people, comments. You are just simply not ready for what you thought you was ready for. All right. So then he stated, I'm not upset that you haven't dated a black man. I'm more concerned with the fact that you lied, because that means you're going to be one way in one situation and not be authentically yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just said what she felt like she needed to say to dismiss her, very people pleasing. And you could tell that Jenny's, like she said, she wants to be married. She's 44, 45, I believe, one of the oldest women there, especially in this group. And that's what she wants. And I feel like she was going to try to tell them what they wanted so she could get what she wanted. You know what I'm saying? And that is a big, big red flag, especially, y'all know, especially. All right. So when it comes to the elimination dinner, Jenny is eliminated and Jasmine ends up being eliminated. Now, they eliminated Jasmine because Thaddeus was concerned about the fact that she is not as aggressive as one might, as one might need to be in this competition when you have to compete against lots of other women. You know what I'm saying? You might get outshined. So they ended up sending her home. Now, Lexi was on the chopping block, and I feel like they should have sent Lexi home, because immediately when she was notified that she was on the chopping block, she was like, baby, I don't compete, I complete. I was like, you're on a competition show, a dating competition. You're going to compete, sis. You're going to compete. And then when she had her conversation with Carlos, I feel like she was just kind of like running down her resume. I sing, I act, I host, I do X, Y, and Z. I'm like, okay. I feel like she was like, let me put my resume out there before y'all try to send me home, so at least people could, look me up. That's what I felt from her. So I really do feel like Lexi should have went home. She not ready. She not ready. She not ready, in my personal opinion. All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. Be sure you thumbs up the video. Thumbs up the video if you enjoy my commentary. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And I will see y'all for episode 2 of King's Court season 1. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.